What's up guys, I hope everyone is doing well. As you can see by my surroundings, and obviously if you follow me on social media, you will know that I am currently stuck in a hotel room in London due to the adverse weather conditions. So I have just returned from Mobile World Congress, where I have spent the last 5 days playing around with the new Galaxy S9 Plus. So I thought I would bring this little video and give you guys my first impressions and all my thoughts so far on how this device performs and also how good the camera etc are. So my full review will be coming in around a week, so definitely make sure you are subscribed for that, as I will be providing loads of camera comparisons and even some videos comparing this to other devices. So with that said, let's jump into it. So when it comes down to looks, most people are underwhelmed due to the lack of change, but in my opinion this is still a wonderful and honestly one of the best looking handsets on the market. Of course, Samsung did change the position of that fingerprint sensor this time round, and whether or not it annoyed you first time, it's certainly in a better position now and it is more natural and easier to press. One of the best changes for me though is those new AKG tuned dual speakers. For me, having these is a massive deal as I watch a lot of content on my phone and the S8 honestly just wasn't up to par. Pair those with that beautiful 6.2 inch Super AMOLED panel and you have yourself an absolute monster of a device for consuming content or even playing games. So if you're using the S8 now, you will be familiar with features like the fast charge and also fast wireless charging, IP68 dust and water resistance, and while these are nothing new and spectacular, the S9 does have an upgraded processor that is now either the Exynos 9810 for most of us, or the Snapdragon 845 if you live in the US. There's also 6GB of RAM and up to 128GB of onboard storage. Having played around with this for some time, I can definitely say that these upgrades make the overall experience super fast and fluid. It is of course hard to say how fast at this point, as it is a brand new device, but it certainly feels a lot snappier and handles anything you throw at it. And of course I will be doing some benchmarks etc and comparing it in the full review. The biggest change that we have here over the S8 of course is the new cameras. What we have here is a dual camera setup with a 12 megapixel variable aperture lens that can range from f1.5 to f2.4, and it will adjust itself depending on the lighting situation. The secondary camera hosts a 12 megapixel f2.4 telephoto lens, allowing you to easily get closer to that shot. So hopping into that camera app, of course you do have the option to just leave it on auto and do its thing, or you can utilise Pro mode and adjust everything yourself. Obviously you can tune things like the ISO, the aperture and all that good stuff to get that perfect shot. So rather than talk about the camera itself, let's jump in and take a look at some sample shots. All of these shots were taken on auto mode just to give you guys the overall experience that you will get straight out of the box without having to do anything special. So let's check them out. So diving a little deeper into the camera app, you will also find Super Slow Mode, and this will allow you to shoot 960 frames per second at 720p. Having used Super Slow Mode before, I can say that this is the most user-friendly version yet, and capturing a shot is pretty straightforward. You can use manual mode, or you can go ahead and set up an area that will automatically record as soon as it detects motion, and honestly I think it looks pretty good. Moving on, you will also find AR emoji, which I think is kind of freaky and not something that I would use personally, but it is there along with personalised emojis to send to all your friends if you wish. So video of course is just as good, and the sample that you see here is 4K 30 frames per second, and honestly I think that it looks super crisp etc, especially when viewing it on your device. But this time round we also have the ability to record at 4K 60 frames per second, but as you can see there is no OIS, and you will really need to use a stabilizer or a tripod to pull this off. So I'm definitely impressed with the 4K 30 frames per second footage, and I plan to upload a cinematic video very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. Okay, so that pretty much rounds it up. Ultimately, you'll have to decide if these upgrades make it worth it for you to move from the S8 to the S9. The camera is definitely better, the speaker setup is awesome, and it is still that super sleek handset that feels great in the hand. But honestly, is that enough? One thing I will say for sure, if you plan to get the S9, definitely go for the Plus. If you go for the Plus, you will get more RAM, you will get the better camera, and obviously you will get the bigger screen, and the overall package is just a lot better and makes a lot more sense. So that is definitely my opinion and the advice that I would give you. So what's your thoughts on the S9 Plus so far? What do you think of the sample shots that I showed you, and obviously the video, etc. There will be loads more content coming on the S9, and I really hope to get home soon so that I can deliver obviously a better scene, etc. while I'm talking, so I apologise for that. So as always guys, if you have any questions, let me know down below and I will get back to you. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, stay safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.